The movie kicks off with a girl named Daisy. She works as a content moderator for a big company, where her job is to review videos reported on social media, the ones people say are disturbing or inappropriate. Her task is to decide whether to delete those videos or keep them online, all based on the company's rules and policies. She also has the power to block any video she thinks isn't suitable. But the real problem is that Daisy spends around 8 hours a day sitting in front of her computer watching tons of clips from all over the internet. And honestly, the job's exhausting. It really messes with her mental health since most of the stuff she sees is dark and disturbing. Over time, we see she's not the only one struggling. A lot of her coworkers are going through the same thing. One guy, named Bob, even loses it one day and starts screaming while working. It's also clear that Daisy doesn't really agree with how the company handles things.
Daisy deletes a video of a girl jumping off a tall building, but her boss isn't happy about it. She tells Daisy that the clip ended up on a news site and that what she did could get the company in trouble for violating freedom of speech. Daisy tries to explain herself, saying she's not against free speech, she's against free reach. In other words, she doesn't think disturbing or scary videos should spread all over the internet. But her boss doesn't buy it. She tells Daisy to follow company policy or she'll be fired. Later, we get a glimpse into Daisy's personal life. She's struggling to get those awful images out of her head, the ones she keeps seeing in the videos she reviews every day. To distract herself, she tries to keep busy and find something that'll help her stop thinking about it. So she starts using dating apps, trying to convince herself that she can still live a normal life away from the computer screen. She's hoping to meet someone nice, maybe start a relationship, especially since she's lonely and lives far from her family. But unfortunately, none of the guys she meets are what she's looking for. One day, Daisy's neighbor knocks on her door and asks if she can watch his daughter, Violet, for the night since his work schedule changed and he's got a night shift. Daisy agrees. She actually sees it as a nice chance to break her boring routine. But she's surprised when Violet starts watching an adult website. Daisy quickly stops her and suggests they watch a cartoon movie instead. Violet loves the idea, and the two of them end up watching it together, laughing and having a really good time. The next day, Daisy tells her friend Ava that she's realized they probably have the worst job in the world. But at the same time, it's a job that protects a lot of people from seeing disturbing stuff online. After that, they both go back to work. While Daisy's reviewing videos, she comes across one that immediately catches her attention. It shows a woman being tortured with nails driven into her body while she screams in pain. The video's so disturbing that Daisy can't handle it, and she passes out. After a while, Daisy wakes up and finds herself in the hospital. Once she starts feeling better, the doctors let her go home. Her friend Ava tells her she should take some time off to rest, saying it'll help her relax and forget about the horrible video she saw. Daisy agrees and decides to take a break from work. When she gets home, she falls asleep but ends up having awful nightmares about what she saw in that video. The next day, Daisy gets a message from the hospital saying her medical bills are super expensive. She calls to check if the message is real or just a scam, and the staff confirms it's legit. Daisy's shocked. She doesn't have the money to pay for it, and her job doesn't even give her health insurance. So she cancels her time off and goes back to work because she really needs the money to cover the bill. At work, she tries to stop thinking about that video, but she just can't get it out of her head. She even starts using drugs during her break, hoping they'll help her forget. But it doesn't work. Daisy pulls herself together and walks into her boss's office, telling her they need to send that video to the police because what's in it clearly looks like torture, kidnapping, and abuse. But her boss shuts her down, saying she's overreacting. She tells Daisy the video might be fake, that the whole thing could have been staged with the woman's consent. Daisy insists it's real. She said she could tell just by the woman's screams. That kind of pain can't be faked. Still, her boss refuses and says if they report it to the police and it turns out the video's not real, the company could end up in serious trouble. Around that time, we see Bob sitting in the company therapist's office. The therapist tells him to stop yelling at work because it freaks out his coworkers and makes them uncomfortable. He suggests Bob find a better way to deal with his emotions instead of shouting. But Bob feels insulted. He thinks the therapist's basically calling him crazy.
He starts explaining in detail what he sees every single day in those videos, how messed up they are, and how it's driving him nuts. But the therapist doesn't really care. He just says, well, that's part of the job. You knew what you signed up for. Then we go back to Daisy, who's sitting at her desk, smoking while staring at her computer screen. She's trying to calm her nerves and deal with the stress, but the thought that the people who tortured that woman might still be out there eats her alive. Finally, she decides she can't just sit around. She goes straight to the police station to report the video herself.
When Daisy shows the video to the cop, he barely pays attention to it. She asks him to investigate and catch the people who tortured the woman, but he tells her the case might not even be his responsibility. He doesn't know where the crime happened or if it was even a real crime. He thinks the video could just be fake or staged. Daisy gets pissed off by what he says, so she leaves the station angry and frustrated. To blow off some steam, she goes out drinking with her friend Ava. After having way too much to drink, she heads home and tries to sleep, but the nightmares come back again. The next day, Daisy decides to dig into the video herself. She's dead set on finding the truth and getting justice on her own. Even though the video got deleted from her company's system, she manages to find it re-uploaded on a bunch of different sites. She copies the link and posts it on an online forum, hoping someone will help her track down the guy from the video, the one whose face she remembers all too well. The next day, Daisy goes back to work, and while she's on duty, her coworker Paul starts freaking out over a video he's watching. The clip's so disturbing that he completely loses control of himself. During lunch, Daisy sits down with him to calm him down, and after talking for a bit, he finally relaxes. She manages to help him shake off what he saw and feel a little better. That night, when Daisy gets home, she notices a new comment on the video she posted online. The commenter says he managed to track down the location of the guy who originally uploaded the video. Even though it's really far away, Daisy decides to drive there herself. She spends 4 hours on the road until she finally reaches the man's place. She waits outside his house, watching, until she sees him come out and get into his car. She follows him quietly, keeping her distance, until he stops at a movie theater. Daisy goes inside after him and takes the seat right behind him. As the movie starts playing, she realizes it has scenes just like the ones from the video. That's when it hits her. This guy's seriously disturbed, and she's sure now he's the one who uploaded it. After the movie ends, Daisy follows the man as he's leaving the theater and catches up to him before he gets into his car. She confronts him about the video, telling him he's sick for posting something so twisted. But the guy denies everything. He looks nervous, scared even, the moment he sees the clip. Then he snaps, yelling at Daisy, calling her the crazy one for even watching something like that. He jumps into his car and drives off, leaving her standing there, shocked and confused. That's when Daisy realizes she made a mistake. The person who replied to her on the forum had lied. Once she's back home, she messages him, telling him he sent her after the wrong guy. But he replies, insisting it's true, saying that man is actually his boss, and he just wanted to mess with him as a prank. Daisy gets furious, slams her laptop shut, and takes a deep breath. Even though she's frustrated and exhausted, she decides she's not giving up. Not yet. The next day, Daisy asks Paul to help her find information about the man in the video. Since he has a master's degree in programming, she knows it would be easy for him. But Paul refuses. He tells her it would be a serious invasion of privacy and that he's worried about what she might do with that kind of information. He says Daisy's impulsive nature could easily get her into serious trouble. Later that night, Daisy goes home and decides to contact the production company that made the video. She sends them an email, pretending to be an actress interested in joining their projects, hoping it'll get her closer to the truth. The next day, the company's CEO receives a call from one of the main investors. He tells her rumors about employees fainting at work are spreading fast, and the company's profits have already started to drop. He warns that this could hurt their stock value and public image. The investor suggests she throw a company party or organize a trip to help the employees relax and refocus on their goals. The CEO agrees, seeing it as the perfect way to keep morale high and the numbers steady. The company's CEO invites all employees to a night out at a local bar, hoping to lift their spirits and take their minds off work. During the night, Bob starts talking about the most disturbing videos he's ever seen, the ones that still haunt him. But Paul cuts him off, saying he doesn't want to talk about work anymore, and suggests they switch the topic. As the night ends, Daisy refuses to leave with the others. She stays behind, sitting alone at the bar. The bartender notices her solitude after closing up and offers to keep her company somewhere else. Daisy quickly realizes what he's implying. He wants something intimate, and she agrees to go with him behind the bar. But just as things start to get physical, Daisy suddenly snaps. She grabs the bartender's belt and starts beating him violently, her rage exploding without warning. He falls to the ground, screaming in pain, confused and terrified. Daisy doesn't stop until her anger burns out completely. Then, breathing heavily, she drops the belt and walks away into the night. The next day at work, Daisy feels a wave of anxiety when she sees police officers talking to her boss. Her mind races. Maybe they found out about what happened last night. But Ava quickly reassures her, explaining that the police are investigating the sudden death of a night shift employee who suffered a brain hemorrhage while on duty. That night, Daisy is at home with Violet, trying to enjoy a quiet evening when her phone buzzes. It's a message from the production company, the same one behind the disturbing video. They invite her to join the filming of their next release, scheduled to start in just 30 minutes. Daisy freezes, torn between staying with Violet and seizing the chance to finally confront the people behind the horror. After a long, shaky breath, she makes her decision. She tells Violet she won't be long, grabs her coat, and rushes out the door, determined to uncover the truth, no matter what it costs. As soon as Daisy gets to the filming location, a guy greets her and hands her a form to fill out her details and sign. But Daisy ignores him, pulls out a photo of the man from the video, and asks if he knows him or has any info about him. The guy doesn't answer. He just says phones aren't allowed inside. Right then, Daisy feels something's off and decides to leave. But when she tries to open the door, it's locked. The guy tries to calm her down, telling her to stay, even offers her a lot of money, but Daisy refuses and insists on leaving. He finally opens the door, and that's when she notices something. He's wearing the same shoes she saw in the video. It hits her. He's the one who filmed it. Furious, Daisy sprays pepper spray in his face, grabs his camera, and smashes it to the floor before storming out, shaking and panicking. When she gets home, her heart sinks. Violet is gone. A few seconds later, her neighbor bangs on the door, yelling at her for being irresponsible and leaving his daughter alone. Daisy tries to apologize and explain, but he's too angry to listen. He just walks away, leaving her standing there in shock. After everything that happened, Daisy tries to act normal, like she's moved on. But deep down, she's boiling with anger, her mind stuck on one thing: revenge. Meanwhile, Paul watches another disturbing video at work. He completely breaks down, rushes out, drives home shaking, and tries to calm himself down. A few hours later, he goes back to the office and quietly hands Daisy an envelope. Inside is the address of the man she's been looking for all this time. Paul tells her he doesn't want to know what she's planning to do with it. He just wants her to be careful. That guy's not normal. He's dangerous. Daisy thanks him with a cold smile and promises she'll handle it her way. That night, back at home, Daisy takes out a slab of meat from the fridge and starts hammering nails into it, one by one, calm, focused, almost emotionless. It's clear now. She's already decided how she's going to make him pay.
The next day, Bob watches a video that completely shocks him. He rushes to Daisy and shows it to her. She's stunned too when she realizes it's her, hitting the bartender behind the bar. But Bob tries to calm her down, saying he deleted the video and that a lot of people actually sympathize with her, thinking she was just defending herself from some creep. Daisy, however, tells him the truth. The bartender didn't do anything. She just lost control when she saw the face of the man from that old video in her head. In that moment, she thought the bartender was him. Traumatized, Daisy decides to quit her job and focus on finding that man and punishing him her own way. She starts working the night shift at a restaurant, spending her mornings studying for nursing exams. After she passes, she goes to a big hospital for a job interview. During the interview, she talks about what she's learned from her old job, saying that sometimes the only way to stop something bad is by doing something bad yourself. Right then, the camera shows the face of the man sitting across from her, and it's him, the same guy from the video. That's when we realize Daisy never wanted to be a nurse. She just wanted to get close enough to him to make him pay.
And that's how the film ends.
If you liked the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel.